Hi, I'm Peter Knight. I want to talk today about an element of the X factor that gives you the ability to develop power in your swing. Now, just as a review, the X factor is really just, if you're looking from above and I turn my upper body without moving my lower body, then you would see that the shafts almost form a cross or an X, and that's all X factor is. It's just the difference between your upper body movement and your lower body movement. Now here's where it's key. When I get to the top of the swing, what we see with really good players is that as they get to the end of their backswing or toward the end of their backswing, the lower body will start to move back toward the target. So the very last thing that changes direction in the downswing is the club head. So as I swing back towards the end of my backswing, I get toward the end and then my lower body's changing direction, then my upper body, my arms, and then lastly the club head. And of course this all occurs in milliseconds. It's almost simultaneous, but it's not. There is actually a sequence to it. If I use my hands or my arms to begin the downswing, then I'm going to be out of sequence. I'll lose power, I'll lose control of the club head, and I'll probably struggle to hit the ground in the right spot as well. So here's a way that we need to develop that. We need to develop a bit of a stretch from the end of the backswing and then as you're beginning your downswing. So we talk about the difference between the upper body turn and the hip turn as being the X factor. And then when I get to here, if I'm able to move my hips, now I'm moving my hips without moving my upper body, let's say I move them 5 degrees, then my X factor stretch is 5 degrees. Again, more is not necessarily always better, but it's certainly valuable to be able to get the sequence so that when I get to the top of my swing, my lower body can start my downswing first, and so then I can actually stay in sequence and get power in my swing. Now, one way that you can practice that is make just a very small turn with your upper body. If your hips turn a little bit as well, that's fine. And then look to keep your upper body steady. You're not locking it in place, it's just not moving. And turn your lower body back toward the target and then turn it back again. So you can actually start to get the sensation of your upper body staying steady and your lower body moving. To progress that, I'm going to allow my upper body to turn more, and now my hips have turned in the backswing. And then from here, can I get a small stretch going back the other way, which I can. If I turn to the end of my backswing, and now from here, I start my downswing and keep my hips moving, they're definitely leading my upper body turn. And again, I'm not trying to get a massive hip turn before I get any shoulder turn, because I still need to have control over the movement in order to be able to engage the muscles of my torso to help me to develop power in the swing. But if you get that sense of being able to move your upper body independently of your hips, and move your hips independently of your upper body, then you'll start to be able to get a feel for what that movement is in your golf swing. And if you haven't had that in the past, you'll find that suddenly your club head speed will increase with no more effort from you, and your shots will go further and straighter as well.